We got it.
All right, great. So greetings from the Alliance for Family Engagement and welcome to our All Pro Dad webinar. My name is Michelle Roberge and I'm a member of the Region for Alliance for Family Engagement. I'm the District Volunteer Coordinator for Pinellas County Schools. I am excited to host this session that will be presented by Keith Vickery and Christian Spolar. Keith Vickery is a native of Florida with past experiences as the director of the USF Wellesley Foundation, HR management and business sales with Apple Retail, and now 4 years with the Family First focused on the All Pro Dad program. Keith grew up in Hillsborough County to a family of teachers. Christian Spolar originally hails from Chicago, Illinois. Christian has a broad level of experiences from work as a paramedic and sales leader at a large shipping firm. Now, to get started with the presentation, we're first going to view an All Pro Dad video.
What does a child want most from their dad? The latest video game? A new smartphone? Not at all. What they really want is more time with you. And to children, time equals love. At All Pro Dad, we give you the one-on-one time you need to build your relationship with your child and the tools to become the best father you can be. Maybe you had a dad or role model to lead you, to inspire you, to be there for you as you were growing up. Maybe you didn't. Either way, we're here to help show the way forward. It starts with bringing your child to school once a month for a morning breakfast with other dads, mentors, and their kids. You'll share in fun activities, build memories, and learn about meaningful topics like forgiveness, leadership, humility, and purpose using our character-based curriculum. You'll be focused on each other, and as a result, your relationship will grow deeper.
All right, Keith, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Michelle. And it's a pleasure for us to be here and to share about the All Pro Dad program. All Pro Dad as a program was started by the Family First organization in the late 90s when NFL Hall of Fame coach Tony Dungy used to walk the fields after practice and talking with his defensive line coach. They were talking about the impact of their dads on their lives and how they were doing as dads and also the impact of dads on their players' lives. And as they were discussing it, they realized that there must be something more that we can do to engage and encourage dads to be connected with their kids. About that time, they had a great connection established with Family First with Mark Merrill, and they would host, coach and the Buck staff would actually host events where you could come and basically watch them practice. And typically they'd have about 80 people. So with all the planning and whatnot, they thought they'd have about 200 dads and kids that day. So when it came time for the day where there was events for dads and kids and practice and all this such, instead of having just 200, they had over 4,000. And so they realized they'd hit a nerve, that there's a place for dads and kids to be encouraged in relationship. So shortly thereafter, the All Pro Dad program was born, and specifically, it addresses the importance of dads in kids' lives. Now, we kind of know this intrinsically, but it actually bears its way out in the information and the research that we have. And it looks something like this. Next slide, please. So when a dad's not involved in a kid's life, we find that their lives are more challenged. Oftentimes they're more likely to drop out of school. They're more likely to fail, and truancy rises severely. So if you're not in school, you're not going to succeed. Typically 54% generation over generation are less well off than the generation before them. And so you get to generational poverty and it becomes a cycle. Even though right now in the US, we are actually at a 5-year low in teen pregnancy, which is fantastic when there's not a dad involved to offer that value and that encouragement. A teen girl is 7 times more likely to get pregnant. And all of this, of course, ends and points towards incarceration. And folks get caught up in the legal system and trying to solve their problems in ways outside of the law. So this would be pretty depressing right now if we stopped right here. But the great news is this: when you add dad back in, life changes for the kids. And so part of it is when dad gets back in, all of a sudden, kids get to school more often and truancy decreases. And who knew, if you go to school more often, you get better grades. Hey, there you go. And you get increased motivation because, man, you're excited about what you're doing. Kids start to realize, man, there's more to me than I ever discovered. They've got increased skills in creativity, increased ability to learn. And because of being focused on all that, they don't get in trouble as much because they're not looking for trouble, right? And so a fantastic impact. One thing that I found interesting, having a background in HR management with Apple, is the piece about when dads get involved, kids get better at managing their time. And I thought that was kind of amazing. But when you think about it, as dads encourage being to places on time and getting things done and whatnot, that really is a critical piece. And I know as a manager, when I looked for hiring people into our organization, that I want to make sure that someone can manage their time. Because if I hire somebody that doesn't have time management skills and can't manage themselves, I've just hired another job for myself, right? And so this important piece of time management actually allows children to matriculate into adults and to get and keep jobs in the long term. So it's a really incredibly important piece. So as far as that goes, that's why Family First created the All Pro Dad program.
Super important, Keith. Time management, something I know far too well, all the jobs that I've worked, is time management is so key. And so good segue into, what does All Pro Dad provide to dads? We're a fatherhood program of Family First, and we encourage dads to commit to one or all 3 of the things that we provide. And that's 1 minute a day, the play of the day email, one of the most read articles for men out there, encouraging, incredible, helps with life, marriage, parenting. Next, we have our 1 hour a month All Pro Dad chapters. Our chapter program is backbone to All Pro Dad. It helps us to get into the schools, helps us to get to dads and kids and families and create that connection in person, or like right now, virtually. The third thing that we do is 1 day a year with our All Pro Dad experience. We're very fortunate here in Hillsborough to run one about every year here at the Raymond James Stadium. Incredible experience, something that I know personally, now that I've been to a stadium experience, I would never miss it, another one. If we get to the next slide, talk a little bit more about the play of the day. So this is actually what inspired me and drew me to All Pro Dad. The play of the day article, like I said, it's the most read fatherhood email in the country. An article drops every single day, every morning, giving dads relevant and practical content to be better husbands and fathers. Something that is so needed, especially during this time. And then next, a little bit more about the chapter program. If you could go to the next slide. Yeah. So right now, with things being so tough in COVID, we've actually developed a virtual chapter program to coincide with our in-school program. Both of them run full turnkey. All Pro Dad provides everything you need with the character-based curriculum, and allows dads to engage with their kids, even at home. We can move to the next slide. So what does a chapter meeting look like? Now, our in-person events and the virtual are very similar. The first thing that we do to start the chapter meeting is we start with breakfast. And in some cases, it's at night or even lunchtime. We allow the dads and the kids, the families to really bond and engage over food. That's something that every culture knows far too well. That's so important. The next piece to the chapter meeting that is, I think, so very important, and actually the best thing that we do with the chapter program, and that's the pride exercise. It's where a dad or role model gets to share with the peers of the kids and to their child why they're proud of them. It is the most affirming thing for a kid to hear from their dad, that they are proud of them. One of the best exercises that we do, part of the program. The next piece is every month there's a character-based curriculum that goes with the chapter. There's a video, there's discussion questions for dads to kids, kids to dads, and even group questions to help engage. And then there's activities that goes with it. The fourth part of the meeting would be our Bring It Home, and that's resources, tools that we provide fathers, families to further engage at home and take it to the next level. Next slide.
So as Christian pointed out, we actually have a step-by-step program, because when you're a parent volunteer or even a very busy family engagement specialist, you're thinking, oh my gosh, do I have to recreate an entire program for the dads every month? No, we've got it all taken care of. And we've got it broken down, whether it's being done regular or whether in person or whether it's being done virtually. And it's literally a step-by-step process from welcome to the pride exercises and what to say. So even if you have a volunteer who at least can fog a mirror and read out loud, you can actually get through this event, no doubt. We also have, utilizing the virtual platform of Zoom or another platform that you might be used to using since you're working or quite a bit in other platforms like Microsoft Platform or whatnot. You can utilize those so that you can have great conversations back and forth with your parents through the chat tool inside of most virtual platforms. This allows people to share with you those pride moments and celebrate them about with what they're excited about for their children. Next slide, please. We also have a really important tool that goes along with being a member of a chapter. So we are always seeking on how to get great materials out into the lives of our families to encourage dads to keep up the momentum of engaging with their kids. And so that's where we have the Bring It Home tool. And Bring It Home has a reminder and the big idea about what they just experienced. They also have some practical ways about reading about it. And of course, we have a great relationship with the Department of Education in the state of Florida that gives us some great books that go along with each of the chapter titles and each of the events. And so that way dads can check out other books and begin a reading challenge with their kids, where they read with their kids once a week or 15 minutes a week, something like that, to encourage that and make sure that they stay on grade level. It also creates some great reading time as far as some bonding time with the dads. There's questions on here about talking about it. So we have a moment in the chapter experience where dads and kids get to ask each other questions. And dads don't automatically think like that. Typically we think, oh yeah, well, if we found out if they had a good day and we found out what they did, which they'll tell us nothing, right? Did you have a good day? Sure. What did you do? Nothing, right? The standard answers. Dads don't always know that you have to go past that to be having a conversation with your kid. And so this allows those really practical questions to give dad a chance to ask and keep the conversation going, and then some practical ways to act it out. So we're talking about really practical, very straightforward, very easy to do ways to get our parents to get involved with their kids in a greater strategy for engaging them. Next slide, please. So what does this mean for schools? What does it mean for fathers? What does it mean for members? For schools, this is an automatically easy way to connect with a group that schools have a tendency to not connect with. Oftentimes, whether it's a culture within the school or whether it's just a hard community to get inside that particular part of the family, this is a way in. and a way to keep that connection. Your team captain, your volunteer team captain, becomes an extension of your school team in reaching and connecting with your students and extending the educational experience that they get from being a part of your schools. For dads, it improves that quality time. It gives some practical solutions and answers of what to do. Because oftentimes dads are like, hey, how do I check this box? But this gives them the tools to develop and engage deeper. Also, this is a great way for dads to get connected to other dads. Within a school community, that's so important because oftentimes dads are disconnected. This allows them to connect together, and oftentimes they start saying, hey, I like my kids, I like your kids, I like you. What else can we do? And they start to volunteer for things. They start to volunteer for reading programs. They start to volunteer with really being a part of the community, which is fantastic. And for our members, our members can dive into all the materials on Family First. There are searchable materials on the member site. There's so much information, anything from how to talk to your kids about challenging topics, to also getting into foster and adoption for folks that want to engage and help these kids in Florida that don't have families, that don't have steady homes. There's just so many great materials out there. And again, not an extra cost at all, absolutely free. And you know what? Your members tend to be connect better as far as their attendance goes, not only to the chapter, but also to school functions as well. But don't trust our word for it. Okay, don't trust our word. The great thing is we've had principals and we've had team captains from all across the United States share with us the impact that their chapter has had on their local school program. They've made a fantastic impact. And even to our own Hillsborough County. Next slide, please. We've got some superintendents, not only in Texas, but Jeff Akins, who was our fantastic outgoing superintendent in Hillsborough County, believed in the program, as does our new superintendent for Hillsborough County. And so we're so excited because we are seeing practical, numbers-driven information that you can share about your program and the impacts that you guys are having. So Christian, how do we get started?
That is a great question. How to get started? The best way to move forward is to find a team captain. If it's not you, then, and you're a school admin or family engagement specialist, find somebody to champion this program and get started by registering online. Super easy. You just go on allprodadchapters.com and get logged in, and there's a step-by-step guide in getting started and registering. And then once you partner with your school or local church or community group, then you're going to schedule your first meeting. And that's it.
It's as simple as that. And Christian's right. So if you're in the Hillsborough County, Pinellas County, if you're anywhere in the state of Florida, Christian Spoehler is your guy. And that's the contact information that you're going to want to connect with. We are so thankful for Sheila Kane and Michelle Roberge and all the amazing people that continue to connect this program to our family engagement specialists and the folks that are out there being heroes in the field. Thank you so much for your time and the impact that you have.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Keith and Christian, for that comprehensive look at how to get our fathers engaged in family engagement and in their lives of their children. So thank you everyone for watching our recording. Please take a look at our Alliance for Family Engagement website at allianceforfamilyengagement.fl.com. Please follow us on Facebook and on Twitter. We really need to have you share and follow us to build our membership. So again, I want to thank everybody. Thank you, All Pro Dads, and we'll talk to everybody soon. Take care. Bye.